What is going on YouTube? Hayden Schreier making another Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as Litecoin. I also have an article posted by Forbes, one of the worst websites in regards to getting content that is not bombarded with ads, as you can see. But they talk in regards to new bill in Congress could have massive impact on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. So I do want to go into this article, discuss what that is, and might have something to do with taxing and things of that nature, which I know as tax season is approaching is something you guys have an interest in. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's video. So guys, yesterday we left off with a very interesting video in regards to the fact that XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin may have bottomed off, and we may start to continue this uptrend into $10,000 for Bitcoin, if not the upwards of $1, breaking the massive resistance on XRP, heading us up to the higher levels. Now, I do want to discuss with you all of these cryptocurrencies and go in depth. I want to start off with the current coin market cap as well. As you guys can see, the top 10 cryptocurrencies all are in green, except for Bitcoin. Very interesting. Bitcoin SV is now once again up 16.75%. Don't know why. Very interesting. Usually after it hits the bottoms, it probably catapults off like the Ripple effect, and then we'll slowly bottom off once again. But otherwise, majority of the cryptos are up about 3 to 5%, I would say, on average. And it's mainly the smaller altcoins. We're not really seeing like the top 3 to 7 really moving that much in regards to Litecoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, maybe even EOS as well. These coins, the ones that have been established for quite some time now, are really not moving at all and in any which direction. So it is something to pay attention to, and it is quite interesting to not see much movement in those. Now, I do just want to jump into the technical analysis here and point out a few things. So when you look at Bitcoin, we can easily tell that we are not yet retesting the high-low middle moving average. But on Litecoin and Ethereum, we pretty much have. You can see the past 2 days, we had prices as low as $55, basically retesting the bottom of the support. The high-low MMA, since breaking through, now acts as a support zone for the coin, hopefully hoisting it up into future levels. You can also see there is a very strong uptrend starting to form on Litecoin. So this is an awesome pattern forming as well. You can see it is starting this uptrend, and we'll see if this can continue to hold progress as tomorrow's candle forms, and if it indeed will lift the price out of, as we know, the massive bearish fractal. We already pretty much confirmed that this bearish fractal has been compromised and broken 100%. You can even see where the prices were before was at a clear resistance of our previous high at around $63. And if we can manage to break through the $63 resistance on Litecoin, then we are 100% going to be moving up to higher levels. The only reason we're seeing any sort of correction or retracement in prices right now is merely due to the fact that we were nearing overbought and overbought on a lot of the charts. So with that being said, very small consolidation on the daily is needed in order to create more room for the coins to blast off even higher. You can even see in the past right here with this, we had retesting of that overbought line at 67, and we had some consolidation, and inevitably we closed right back down at around 59. So we started at 69 back here, closed at 59, giving us enough potential for that break in the price from $59 all the way up to $100, basically doubling in about like a week, which is, mind-blowing. But all in all, even with this massive bull rally, you can see for the most part, it still had a clear uptrend. So that may be the start here, as we are now starting to see within Litecoin and the other cryptos. I will go in depth in regards to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP in a second. I do just want to discuss with you guys this very odd and peculiar article that was posted by Forbes. So basically, a new bill in Congress could have a massive impact on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos. What are they talking about? As you can see, Bitcoin's tax issue is something we will discuss. But basically, last Thursday, the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2020 was introduced in Congress. The bill has the potential to solve a major issue with payments made via Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major cryptocurrency networks In that, an exception would be created for the potential capital gains taxes that often occur when these digital assets are used in everyday commerce. What do they mean by that? Without even reading on the rest of the article, basically the way it works is, let's say, and I've shown on my channel that you can use Bitcoin on Amazon via a third-party app. And what you're doing is paying that company in Bitcoin, and they are then cashing that out, or basically holding on to that, doing whatever with it, and then buying you that product with their account and sending it to you. That is one pattern, or one thing. There's also websites where you can exchange your Bitcoin for actual items without a third party or a middleman. You can also use Paxful and things like that. But basically what happens is when you're buying something or a product with Bitcoin, what's going on is you're taking the Bitcoin and you're sending it to them. It's then, as the government looks at it, is it then goes into US dollar and then gets turned into the good that you're purchasing. It doesn't go Bitcoin to good, it goes Bitcoin to US dollar, then to good. And off that movement from Bitcoin to US dollar, you're supposed to be paying taxes on that, which most people don't. So with that being said, they're trying to, obviously, as you can see here, create some sort of wave to allow you to actually be buying goods with Bitcoin and not have to worry off the capital gains, if not capital losses. I don't think you have to worry about capital losses, but in regards to making money off the Bitcoin and then, you know, cashing that out on an item, that's what they're referring to in regards to this bill. So very interesting, awesome, and it's quite wild to see that Congress is looking into cryptocurrency matters, which is quite interesting, and that does show you that obviously the United States is well aware of cryptocurrency and they are taking action on this. But as you can see, notably, 2019 saw a number of different members of Congress comment on Bitcoin, as they discussed here. Basically, the key usability issue with Bitcoin payments is that taxes may need to be paid in a situation where capital gain has occurred, which could be when somebody is simply buying a meal with Bitcoin at a local restaurant. So even, you know, meals or places or restaurants that accept Bitcoin, you would have to theoretically pay taxes because, once again, it's going from Bitcoin to USD and then to the slice of pizza. Under current U.S. law, the use of Bitcoin to pay for goods or service is treated as a sale of those Bitcoin holdings, which is a taxable event. In addition to dealing with the wild price fluctuations found in the cryptocurrency space, users must also track the gains made every time they want to use their Bitcoin or another crypto asset as a medium of exchange. Basically, every time it turns into a fiat currency, you're supposed to be claiming this on your taxes, which is crazy. While a previous version of this bill focused on the implementation of tax exemption for transactions in the amount of $600 or less, a different approach has been taken with the 2020 version of the bill. In the Virtual Currency Tax Fairness Act of 2020, capital gains are only exempt in situations where the gains made by an individual as a result of the transaction would be greater than $200. What does that mean? I guess that's in gains. So does that mean if you buy $10,000 of Bitcoin and it goes to 10.5 and you cash out, you have to pay taxes on that? Or could it mean simply that if, you know, I send you right now $500 in Bitcoin and you immediately liquidate it and withdraw it, would you be paying taxes on that medium on the gains made because you didn't have Bitcoin and now you do? So very interesting situations. The article does go on. Very easy to find if you just check out Forbes. But I do want to continue on with discussing the technical analysis aspect. More specifically, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. As you guys can see, Ethereum has pretty much bottomed off right here. It does show that we had kind of capped off here. We did manage to finally break through resistance, and you can see we really have had a very hard time breaking through here. But the second we did, as shown all the way back in April of 2019, once we were finally able to break through here, we ended up using it as a support. You can see back all the way in February of 2019 when we did break through, it was still a resistance. The only time it was really, you know, hugged as a support was once the green band crossed over the red. And as we can see right now, we haven't really done that yet. So there still is possibility, even though we're bottoming it off here, that there is some lower movements ahead in regards to Ethereum and Bitcoin. You can also see on XRP right now, we're undervalued in regards to the fact that we're not above the high-low MMA, we're below it, and we're currently retesting this. And there's a very high chance we could be breaking below here and falling down to an easy 20 cent to 16 cent support, and then being consolidation and moving up. In regards to this, long-term holders and long-term investors really don't have anything to worry about, because I do believe we will be heading higher up in the long term come the next 4 months. Whether you consider that long term or not, 4 months is my definition of a long-term market when I refer to it. In regards to short term, I'm talking about a week to a couple of days. But in regards to long-term holdings until May 2020, the halving of Bitcoin, I do believe we will continue on this uptrend higher. The only reason we're seeing the slight consolidation downwards is just due to the fact that we were nearing overbought and retesting overbought on basically all of the cryptos. They're all retesting overbought. The biggest thing to pay attention to is looking at the weekly. We need the confirmation, which we are just now starting to see here on Bitcoin. As you can see right here, this blue band is just about to cross over that orange band, and if it indeed does, that will be a huge sign and a huge opportunity that the markets are now finally bullish. You can see we are highly above the resistance right here, and every time we manage to break through that, we end up exploding up with an immediate amount of volume. But regardless, I do believe if we were to come back down, it would be a very small drop to about 83, and if we were to head even lower, it may be down to around 7,600, and even that, if we can hold that support at $7,600, we're definitely going to be heading even higher up and blasting up and continuing to follow this to eventually break above the $10,000 that we've all pretty much heard and miss about Bitcoin. So I do believe with this support being held and being quite strong, that we are going to pretty much see a small retestament back down, followed by a massive swing to the upside and a continued pattern in this bullish market that I believe has started. Otherwise, you can make these trades on DueDEX. Once again, I have not yet made a position, but I definitely recommend signing up to it. It is the first link in the description, and this basically will allow you to get ready for when to short or buy long in the market. But honestly, in regards to a short-term technical analysis, which is what a lot of people like to do, they like to make swing trades, I honestly think we may be just headed for a little more consolidation and a little more retestment. I do believe if you were to short, I would put a stop loss at maybe $8,700, which is a little bit higher than we're at now, maybe $8,750. And then anticipate a small correction all the way back down to about $8,100 in your short, and then anticipate this reversal to happen like that. Something along those lines. Otherwise, we still look okay. We're slightly lower on the RSI, 61. In regards to previous breakout moves that we've had in the past, we were a bit lower than 61. If we just reference this right here, we were trending at about, I would say, we were even at 66 when we broke up ever so slightly, but the major jump happened when we were as low as 54. So we're a little bit higher right now, but there's a very good chance we could see some more consolidation, a small downtrend, a small jump to the downside. Same thing goes with XRP. A small correction lower is definitely where my take is right now. I do believe we will see a small dip before we, extend even higher up in price. But otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, check out DueDEX. It is the first link in the description, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.